Good morning, Mom. Good morning, classmate. In this presentation, I will be discussing the two remaining domain, which are the affective domain and the psychomotor domain. But first, let us know the three domain. The three domain first is the cognitive, which involve mental skills. Then second, the affective domain, which involve growth in feelings or emotional. And the last one is the psychomotor domain, which involve manual or physical skills. The affective domain was decided and proposed by David Crotwell, a former student of Dr. Benjamin, the one who created the Bloom taxonomy, which is used to write cognitive objectives. The affective domain describes the way we deal with things emotionally. These include the feelings, beliefs, emotions, values, appreciation, enthusiasm, motivation, and attitude. So the affective domain has five categories or levels of affective learning. Na ibig sabihin nito, meron tayong step by step para ma-achieve yung learners ng mga estudyante or mapabago yung mga behavior nila inside the class. So it starts from receiving the simplest behavior and to the most complex, which is the characterizing. So the first level is receiving. Refers to the student's willingness to attend to a particular phenomena or stimuli, like in classroom activities, textbook, music, and etc. The example of this: the pupils listen attentively to a teacher, shows awareness of the importance of the learning. So when the teacher discussing in the front, the student will listen attentively. She or he must understand what he or she is listening and remember what does the topic talks about. So the keyword under in this level include asks, chooses, shows willingness, describes, follows, pays attention, holds, identifies, locates, name, points to, select, sits, and attentively. So let's proceed to the second level, which is responding. Responding, these involve active participation in learning, reacting or responding, and showing some new behavior as a result of experience. Like, like the example of this, the pupils respond to the teacher's question. The pupils participate in a group discussion. Like the students doesn't only listen to the one who is speaking, but he or she will also give reaction to it. Either he or she will ask a question so that he will fully understand what they are brainstorming all about. The keyword under in this level includes the answer, replies, responds, assess, complies, conforms, discusses, grades, helps, labels, performs, practices, present, reads, recites, tells, reports, select, and writes. So the third level in the affective domain, which is valuing. Valuing is concerned with a worth or a value a student attaches to a particular object, phenomenon, or behavior. Like the example of this, the pupils demonstrate a problem-solving attitude. The pupils appreciate a good literature. So when we say valuing, it focuses on the student's action where in fact give them a freedom to solve their own problem for them to practice to be a realistic in life. As you can see, in the first level receiving, the learner's passive in terms or of participation. In the second level, which is responding, they are now actively participating in the class. They are showing some interest to the value. And then in the third level, which is the valuing, they are now showing some commitments or some from word to the value object, phenomenon, or behavior. So the keywords under in this level includes completes, describes, differentiates, explains, follows, forms, initiates, invites, joins, justifies, proposes, reads, reports, shares, studies, and works. And now let's proceed to the fourth levels in the affective domain, which is the organizing. Organizing is concerned with bringing together values, resolving conflict between them, and the building of an internally consistent values system. Like the example of this, the pupils spend more time in a study than sport. So in this level, the students compare or generalize his or his action toward the priorities, whether spend more time in study or give time in sport. The keywords under in this level include adheres, alters, arrange, combines, compares, completes, defends, explain, generalize, identifies, integrates, modifies, orders, organize, prepares, relates, and synthesize. And now the last level of the affective domain, which is the character by value or set value. At characterization level of the affective domain, the individual has a value system that has controlled his behavior for a sufficiently long time for him to develop a characteristic lifestyle. The example of this: the pupil shows self-reliance when working independently, cooperates in group activities like display teamwork. It is safe It say decision making must be considered in doing an action, analyze, understand, or use your critical thinking so that it won't be completed, but instead it will help you to grow as a person. So the keywords in this level includes acts, discriminates, displays, influences, listens, modifies, performs, practices, proposes, qualifies, questions, revises, serves, solves, uses, and verifies. So let's have a summary. In the first level, which is receiving, this involves willingness to pay attention or giving your focus to a particular object in the environment. In the second level, responding, you are now reacting or voluntarily towards the particular thing. You are actively participating in discussion, and this shows that you are interested in that particular thing or value. Then in the third level, valuing, you are now showing acceptance of the value. And then the fourth level, which is organizing, you are now rearranging your value system, integrating the new value. And the last one is the characterization. You are now incorporating the value into your life and demonstrating the value consistently. And now let's tackle the psychomotor domain produced by Anita Harrow. So, what is psychomotor domain? The learner that takes place through the development of the motor skills in the human body is called as the psychomotor domain, which include physical movement, coordination, and use of the motor skills areas. Development of these skills requires practice and is measured in terms of speed, precision, distance, procedure, or techniques and execution. Na ibig sabihin, meron siyang mga pagdadaan ng procedure para mapakita na alam niya kung ano ang ginagawa niya. This domain helps to increase the readiness to act with confidence and proficiency. The psychomotor domain is organized according to the degree of coordination, including involuntary responses as well as learning capabilities. Simple reflexes begin at the lowest level of the taxonomy, while complex neuromuscular coordination make up the highest level. So let us know about those levels. So the first levels in the psychomotor domain is the reflexive movement. Reflex movements are the automatic reactions elicited without the learning in response to some stimuli. These are the reactions that are not learned, such as involuntary reaction, segmental, intersegmental, and suprasegmental reflexes. The keywords of this is to flex, to straighten, to extend, to inhibit, to lengthen, to shorten, to tense, to stiffen, and to relax. Like the example of observable behavior, the learner responds physically, instinctively. So the second level of the psychomotor domain is the fundamental movement. Fundamental movements, basic fundamental movements are inherent movement patterns which are formed by combining or reflex movements and are the basis for complex skilled movements. Basic movement can involve more complex set of movements. The keyword of this is to crawl, to creep, to slide, to walk, to jump, to run, to grasp, to reach, to tighten, to support, and to handle. The example of the observable behavior, the learner moves in space while remaining in one place. The next one is the perceptual movement. Perceptual movement refers to the interpretation of various stimuli that enable one to make adjustment to the environment through visual, auditory, kinesthetic, or tactile discrimination. This entails cognitive as well as psychomotor behavior. It may include coordinated movements to respond to stimuli. The keywords of this in this level include to catch, to bounce, to eat, to write, to balance, to bend, to draw from memory, to distinguish by touching, and to explore. The example of observable behavior in this level, the learner discriminates visually. Example, classifying object by colors. The fourth level of the psychomotor domain is the physical abilities. So these require endurance, strength, vigor, and agility which produces a sound, efficiently functioning body. This may include activities of strenuous effort for a long period of time that result in muscular or cardiovascular endurance. So the keyword in this level is to endure, to improve, to increase, to stop, to start, to move precisely, to touch, and to bend. And the example observable behavior in this level, the learner moves quickly. The fifth levels of the psychomotor domain is skilled movement. Skilled movements are the result of the acquisition of a degree of efficiency when performing a complex task. A high level of efficiency is achieved to perform a complex task. The keywords in this level include to waltz, to type, to play the piano, to plane, to file, to skate, to juggle, to paint, to dive, to faint, to golf, and to change. The example of this is the learner change or modifies basic body movement patterns. And the last one is a non-discursive communication. Non-discursive communication is communication through bodily movements ranging from posture to gesture. Creative movements, facial expression act a part in a play through sophisticated choreography. These posture, gesture, and facial expression efficiently executed in skilled dance movement and choreographies. The keyword in this level is to gesture, to stand, to sit, to express facially, to dance skillfully, to perform skillfully, to paint skillfully, and to play skillfully. Like the example observable behavior in this level, the learners express a joy. Example, approve using a facial expression, gesture, posture, and performs a dance, drama, play circles. So that's all. Thank you.